Hey Kodos, what's up? Hope you are doing great. I'm pretty excited to share my external mock interview experience from Nxtwave. The students who got 4 out of 5 rating in all technologies in mock interview will get a chance to get interviewed by external mock interview expert who is not from Nxtwave. I have mentioned the feedback given by the interviewer at the end. So do watch the video till the end. Let's get started. Firstly, he asked me to open my resume and asked a few questions on resume as well as a self introduction and the project explanation. Where project explanation is the crucial part in the interview process, where I have explained everything in detail and highlighted my technologies which I have used for that particular project. And he also asked me few follow up questions on the same project. Like, for example, if we explain a project on a e-commerce website, he asked the questions like how JWT token works, and also difference between authorization and authentication, what is mean by React router, and context, why did you use the context, and what is the drawback of prompt drilling, etc. And in coming to the technologies, he covered the topics in HTML and CSS like HTML and HTTP difference, and also what is the use of anchor tag, and what are order list and unordered list, and also asked me to design a WhatsApp chat window and given me 5 minutes time for this to design, and also asked a few questions on media queries and flexbox, CSS box model, and also correct color gradient and the types, difference between HTML4 and HTML5. This entire flexbox and media queries, he asked me to try in a different styles in as responsive on a coding window. In the Python, what is the difference between list and tuple, and how to access values in dictionary, what is init and self, and also oops concepts with examples, types of inheritance, and how to create an object in Python. And factorial in coding part, he asked me to write a code on a factorial of a number using while loop. As I said earlier in mock interview video, where we need to have a grip on writing the same code in three approaches like using while loop and for loop and also recursion. We don't know which kind of approach the interviewer will ask. We need to be clear with these topics. And coming to SQL, what is the database and DBMS and RDBMS difference, types of joins, and what is key, difference between primary key and foreign key. We need to have a clear understanding on the primary key and the foreign key, and we need to able to write the syntax for a primary key and foreign key to create them. Create a table of your choice and insert values in it. For this, we need to have a clear understanding of the create and insert of the table syntax. Next, sort the columns in ascending order, and he asked me to get a second max price of a product in a table. There will be default tables available in that coding window, and he asked me to take a second max price of a product in a table. Also, difference between limit and offset, and what is meant by normalization and types of normalization, and what is meant by dependency, and operations on retrieving the data from default tables. As same process in the mock interview, he also given the default tables and asked me to retrieve some data based on his commands and conditions. In JavaScript, what is the use of JavaScript and difference between spread, slice, and splice. Here we need to have a clear understanding on slice and splice and the difference. You need to practice few questions on this. and the types of functions and the syntax, difference between event listeners and event handlers. In this topic, he asked me to create a button, and what happens if we click button. He asked me to design a logic for this, and what is callback function, and what is schedulers and their types. Schedulers are like a set interval and set timeout. So I have wrote the code for this schedulers and explained how it works, what is promise with examples, and also API and how to make an API call, async and await, and print current date. In JavaScript, we need to practice all these topics, and we need to know the syntax of async and await, and also promise object, how to create a promise object, and print common values from two arrays in the coding part, and also max value from an array, and nth Fibonacci series using JavaScript. In React, what is React and its features, and difference between state and props, difference between class and functional components. Here we need to show the entire syntax by writing the class and functional component syntax, uh, including lifecycle methods as well. Add a callback function to an event listener in React. So we need to practice every step of the code in React, where they can ask us to create a counter application or anything, and component lifecycle methods, and we need to explain each and every step in lifecycle methods, and what happens in each lifecycle method. What happens if we add state directly, and also what is authentication and authorization, React router, and how JW2 token works, and few questions on React hooks, and use state, use effect, and use reference, and how they works, and why lifecycle methods cannot be used in the functional components. And I have also added the resources in this document, and the technologies mentioned by the interviewer. As soon as I done with my mock interview, I got a call from Nxtwave mentioning the feedback of this interview. They have mentioned like everything is fine apart from project explanation. You need to mention each and every step in your project, and need to have a grip on a practice follow-up questions as well. So practice more coding questions and medium, easy to medium level. That's the link in the description. And how many of you done with the external mock interview? Do let me know in the comment section. Happy coding. All the best. Bye.